And I am live. I really wanted to start earlier, but things happen. And here we are. Tonight, we cover the SPLC 8 map. Southern Poverty Law Center is a group driven by far left ideology that actually police what group should be authorized to express themselves, and they label um, groups and organization that don't align with their values as being hateful. And this is the idea of the 8 map. It's to police these groups and tell everyone these groups are bad. These groups should not represent society and people. We already covered the SPLC for 3 weeks, and we covered one of their organization they targeted in depth, and we will slightly touch upon that at some point. But this is the intro, so let's get into it. We will investigate that 8 map. Now there's so much things on that 8 map that we will not cover every single hotspot. We will keep our attention on parts of it in names that made me laugh and cry at the same time the first time I found out these were in the 8th map. Now let's get into it. I will screen share the fabulous. The 8 map. Here we are, folks. Here we are, the 8 map. Now, I will say this, there's a big odd spot that will be very interesting at some point. There's like 20 of them. Um, I I still suck at navigating that map, but that's the odd spot with like 34 groups. So it will be very interesting, and we will do some targeted research. And now some of you may already know the two targeted research I had in mind. Fresh and Fit, aka the Whatever Podcast, and Just Pearly Thing. These two are deemed eightful. These two are on the 8 map. So we will search them on the 8 map, and then we will cover short videos in their channels to really see if it aligns with eightful content. So this is the idea of this stream. And once we are done with just parroting and the Whatever Podcast, we will just look into some of these more obscure organization that the SPLC decided to deem hateful. So let's get into it. We will start with the juicy search engine with Fresh and Fit. There we go, Fresh and Fit. Apparently, they are the extremist ideology of the male supremacy. Fresh and Fit, folks. Fresh and Fit. Um, to be honest, I I can see the argument on why. I don't necessarily agree. It's not that you promote some ideas that are more masculine driven or from a masculine perspective that you are hateful or that you are a male supremacist. But I guess that's the reason of having Fresh and Fit there. Male supremacy. Now we will take a look at the uh, AI definition of male supremacy to see if it fits that mold there. So we will screen share. I I wasn't that ready for that, but male supremacy through AI. There we go. I'm I will screen share it. There we go. So, Fresh and Fit is our first victim, and now we got a dragon showing up. The dragon is there. So apparently, we start with Fresh and Fit, and
You're
Fresh.
going with the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's fun going for them.
You're no.
Did you
Here's the
download it
problem.
both?
I wouldn't start with this. The
I do.
problem you have to understand is
Let's
that
get hooked people, man. Let's get people hooked on.
okay, there was a thing with the Southern Poverty Law Center. They first around 2010 started moving against Christians. The next thing they were moving is against the manosphere. No offense. Fresh and Fit is part of a failed manosphere crap that certain people think is important. But culturally to the left, it is seen as sexist and feminist. That is why part of the thing is when you didn't go over it, is they view ideologies as that. Just pearly things is look, it's a bunch of think tanks and other people. It's kind of like, how do I put this? Do you think Nick Fuentes? I'm going to ask you this. Do you think Nick Fuentes is actually influential in politics?
I know his name, and I heard he's right leaning, but that's as far as I know about him. So
Do
I
you
don't
know what
know.
groypers are?
Nope, no idea.
Now, Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, I've heard his name floating around a few years ago.
But you don't know about it. See, this is the
Was
same.
he conspiracy theorist or some crap
He's
like
one of
that?
the guys. He sold VHSs with conspiracies, and he really fucked up around Sandy Hook and said it was an inside government job, and then got to the point where people thought he was an actual thing. Like Nick Fuentes, and this is where we and I'm not politically correct, you understand, is led by groypers. It's a bunch of younger people who use Facebook memes and millennials, and they don't really care as much about left or right versus they use the Pepe the Frog meme, which the left called a noun symbol, like a Doge thing, the Doge dog kind of thing.
People should stop using substance on the left.
So
Anyway,
here, no, but here's the.
Dragon.
No, but I want to say this because this is it leads into this. The problem is groypers. They think groypers are Nazis or Nazi adjacent. I personally look, if you looked up to Fresh and Fit as something other than stupid entertainment where people were chasing it like a decade before in the manosphere and dating advice, boomers don't get that. It's kind of like boomers and intellectual types because just pearly things is not relevant anymore. They're like 5 years late to the party. The problem is they think fresh and fit is anything but cancel. The only reason people talk about just pearly things, fresh and fit at all, is when they want low end commentary ranting and they're used as memes. It's like dragging up Christian. This is why I don't care. They are low hanging fruit.
We do it, my friend. We do it. So
I
let's start
don't
with that.
look. That's
So
brain rot.
according to the eight map, male supremacy is the ideology behind Fresh and Fit. So let's take a look to something else. Being the AI doing the definition of male supremacy, and
So you look at
we
there was
will
the rise of
take
the
that low hanging
manosphere,
fruit.
and I bring up groypers. Groypers were the problem is everyone around Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes was not only tried to be act like he was an evangelical right winger, he also grifted the manosphere. Now, here's the funny thing about him. He's not straight, nor is he
That's
right wing,
hilarious.
nor is he right wing, because he was not the boyfriend of one Milo Yiannopoulos, okay? The gay cat boy. Now, that's a rabbit hole if you wish to go down. The man who was gay, but not gay, yet having a boyfriend. And on the side, Nick Fuentes openly said to Tucker Carlson in an interview, because he largely streams on Rumble and X, he said, I've always had women around in New Orleans. So the gay root that he's gay and etc. show. So he is anything but a conservative. He'll grift the conservative sphere just as he grifted the manosphere.
So let's get into it, Dragon, because we got a lot of things to do. We start with the low hanging fruit, as we call them. So let's get into it. Male supremacy is an ideology based on the belief that men are inherently superior to women and non-binary individual. So I will already say something about that. Non-binary individual, I think when you're not a far left person, you don't give a crap about them. Like, you're okay with them existing, but at no point you think about them. It's really the left that thinks about them. So,
So let me say this and summarize. You don't need the AI to understand this because
but we need to show it so people see the actual definition, because
okay.
we need the definition to what's going on.
So
So
long story short, why people hate the manosphere and the other part is not it started with third wave feminism. Okay.
that's a
Third,
rabbit hole, my friend.
third
So
wave feminism going into fourth.
we will continue
So and I'm going to say this.
that
The
text there.
problem is the issue with a lot of these groups in the SPLC is they believe that a lot of minority groups are good, what they think is sexism, what they sought it. Because starting around, everyone goes with Anita Sarkeesian saying everything is sexist, racist, and whatever else. You have to understand this mindset has been around for like 15, 20 years. The thing about this is, when you look at the manosphere, it's not what they call male supremacy, is just a normal society that the world still runs by. Women outside of the West are universal property. I hate to tell you this. What's funny is some of the most chauvinistic men are either Asian or Indian.
I'm not surprised.
Now
And
you
I
have a
look at how they act with women. I mean, that's a
you're
tangent
telling
in
me
its own, but like,
go to Africa. Women are traded as commodities.
I know,
Females are.
even women are wired that way in other countries. It's only in the West that they think
It's
otherwise.
only in the West,
Yeah,
US, Canada, UK, parts of Europe, they believe feminist ideals.
yeah.
It is just as there's a hierarchy. Usually men run the society. Now, interestingly enough, not it's kind of like, why are most firefighters men? Because you need to be able to carry the weight of a full grown adult.
And I'd rather be saved by one big guy than two or three
It
girls
sounds
that may
weird. You got to
die by
carry
carrying me.
you got to carry yourself, a full grown adult. There's most men that
And
fail firefighting tests.
the equipment is so heavy. It's like, bruh, you need to be top shape. Like, even if I went into firefighter training right now tomorrow, I don't think I'm fit enough, and I'm a man. So again, that's a tangent. So let's continue here that reading, because we need to tell everyone the exact definition from AI, because I think it's a tool people usually trust sometimes. Again, AI is not perfect, but it's a tool. The doctrine asserts that men have natural right, all dominant power in social, political, economic, and legal control over society. Um, again, it depends where you're looking at. It depends where you're looking at. So, core tenets, natural hierarchy, the belief that biological difference dictate that men are meant to lead and rule. So, I will
People
already
forget
say, I,
meritocracy.
yeah, but let me start on that one. The belief that biological difference dictate that men are meant to lead and rule. You know why? They are the one that die in wars. They are the one that trade stuff to survive. They are the ones that endanger themselves for others. They are the ones that, if you create chaos and they don't like it, they will place themselves in your way to stop the chaos. Just try to move a big guy versus trying to move a big girl. The big girl will always be easier to move. uh just weight class, like, look at weight classes. So again, to try to debunk that, to try to say it's a bad thing, to address that and say it's natural and all, I think it's stupid. It's living in another world, a parallel universe. Look at the fact: men are bigger and tougher. It's nature. But again, the left likes to lie to everyone and themselves. Next one: institutional control. The view that men should exclusively manage government, business, and family structure. So I don't know. I feel like this is common stereotype. This is how the left frame the male supremacy. I think a lot of the men out there that stand for men's rights, they don't necessarily want men to be on top of everything. Maybe some do, but again, to associate institutional control to that ideology is, again, uh, the left doing what the left does and spitting on the right's face. The next one: anti-feminist. The rejection of gender equality movement, often framing them as an attack on men. Um, you know what? If you look around, I do think a lot of men that are pro men don't necessarily want to take away rights of women. But again, it's still left framing whatever movement that favors men or that focus on men the same way feminist does to women. Um, Again, it's rejection of gender equality. I don't see many men really adhering to that. Because I'm telling you this: if tomorrow men decide women don't vote, they can scream, they can throw a tantrum, men will control them. Simple as that. Rule of nature. So again, when I see that anti-feminist, being a male supremacist means being anti-feminist, I don't know. I Again, I feel like it's the left trying to make male-oriented movement look bad. I don't know that many men's that are like, let's take away women's rights. Do you know men that are of that belief that we shouldn't have equality? Dragon, do you know men
I
like that?
no. The problem is the left hate leftists and progressives. Liberals and progressives both the first thing they attacked was meritocracy.
And that's stupid, because then you blab about
You
effing
attacked
equality.
meritocracy first. Meritocracy is where you have the most experienced leaders leading a society. I do not see men rushing to be nurses. That was largely a woman's profession.
Even today. And even if
Teachers are
they,
still
even if
largely female.
even if they increase the pay for the men, so they go on that field, I don't see that many men being like, oh yeah, I want to ill people. I just don't see that
Techs
in
in
men.
hospitals are largely male.
It's like schools. It used to be different because women didn't get as much education, but since education is accessible, it's mostly women that now are in the education system. So again, the left want to pretend it's not a reality, it's not happening, but it is happening. So again, the left lives in a parallel universe that's not reality. So let's continue the reading of that because we had interesting stuff. Contemporary manifestation. Human rights organizations, socialists study male supremacy as a form of extremism. It is commonly observed in the manosphere, control of right, ideological violence. So, okay, can we say that if the male supremacy movement is so bad, can we apply the same logic with feminism? Because feminism is no longer what it used to be in the 50s to the 70s. From the 50s and the 70s, it was about equal rights, and they it was really to place women on the same level as men.
Do
But
you know
after
what?
that,
Do you know what
after that,
female-led
Dragon, let me
relationships are?
finish. Let me finish. After that, if you pass the 70s, because in the 70s, let's be honest, women had virtually the same right, the same opportunity, and everything in the West. So past that point, feminists didn't just evaporate or vanish; it continued to other waves, and we all know that. And now it's a woman first approach. It's we need to undermine the past by overcorrecting the present. We need to make the past, and now the present we need to course correct, but overly correct and go too far. This is what feminist has become, and it's really oriented around women and all of the diversity to have greater advantage. And it's the loss of meritocracy that we mentioned earlier. This is what feminist has become. So, can we say if male supremacy is indeed extremist, can we say feminist on the modern day, like third and fourth wave, and whatever fifth wave they plan on having? Can we also say these ideas are also extremist because they go too far? Can we say that? I think we do. We can say that. If you dare to say male supremacy is extremist, I think modern feminism, again, the first two wave, I think, are justified. I don't like some of the actors or actresses, I should say, in the second wave, but they still brought society to equal footing when it came to men and women. Again, the issue is after the second wave. If we dare calling men's right extremist, can we call women's right? Because this is what feminists really turned into. It's no longer about equality. It's really about the ladies getting more advantage because they were did wrong for centuries. I think we can. If we don't, it's like saying rule for you but not for me. It's the exact thought process. So now we'll let you talk because I keep silencing you. Any thoughts on what we just said about feminism and extremism?
Okay, here's where you have to understand. A lot, a lot of stuff actually goes back. See, this is what people do not realize about a lot of modern culture. You make it very simple. The difference between, I arguably say, we're not Even though the progressives and the era liberals, the modern ones, are the end result of the hippies from the 60s and 70s, the women burning their bras, by the 70s is when the divorce rate started shooting up. This is the sad fact. They never said this. The Pelosi's of the world, they all wanted to be that. They're later adoptees that embraced more socialistic. Now, here's the thing.
And just because you mentioned, pause on what you were saying, and just because you mentioned divorce rate, look at Africa. It's rare you see divorce there, but I will admit they're a bit extreme in some aspect over
To
there.
be
That's why
honest, women don't look.
there's no divorce
I'm going to
there.
break this up. I'm going to actually bring this up, and this is true. Despite what black people say in the U.S., the average Somali IQ is 80 something. All right, they are sub 100 IQ if they are best. But bear in mind, the continent is called the Dark Continent for one of many reasons. Because after a certain point, every time you try to bring culture to them, this has just been the problem with Africa for 400 years since we went down there, 500 even. They reject modern culture. They use it, parts of it, but that culture is always going to retain.
But you see, I think that's part of their charm.
It is part of their charm because no country in the West keeps track of how much money and aid we have sent to Africa. We just stopped counting.
It can backfire really hard, like,
But no,
and I know what I'm talking about. My wife is from
yeah,
Africa.
here's the
She
part
is
where the
amazing,
reason
but like,
why there's traditionalism. The women cook food, raise the kids. They
and
have
it's
a
good food.
here's where the part is. Once you get out, so divorce rates skyrocketed in the 70s. Women started, the radicals in the Vietnam era. A lot of people do not realize a lot of stuff goes back to that. A lot of the professors, they went in there. Divorce rates started climbing. It's not just the overuse of the like modern, it's been the overuse of the birth control pill, which is a separate matter that's probably ruining genetics and diversity along down the line.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the part what people forget. A lot of first wave feminists weren't really bad. Second were okay. Third had two parts. First was fine. The second half became weird. Anywhere after, because I ask you, do you know what a female led relationship is?
Yeah, it's the woman bossing around the man. It's like
It's where the woman is the breadwinner that actually is a result of
it's more than that. It's she's bossy. Like
there's
it's
a
every aspect. Like, think of a man in the 50s and how much he had control over the family, but flip that on its head, and it's the woman instead of the man.
and here's the part
It's that.
why that started popping up. There are guys that are fine being stay at home dads as the women worked. Let's assume you weren't earning it. There was a flip in the household. This started happening in the 90s. Women earned more than men. So let's assume once the men stopped becoming the breadwinners, they stopped becoming the heads of their household. Now, this is a history. This is why you're seeing a big dichotomy. A lot of people do not understand. There was a cultural shift. Now, realistically, there was a culture. Women were earning more. And then that's how they were asserting power in households. There are women who specifically have the fetish of a female led relationship where the females call the shots versus it's a culture where
But it's mostly in the West that we see that.
actually the interesting part is this is what's funny. People don't understand this. Do you know why you don't see a lot of societies led by women? There are.
They
It's
always
very
end up
rare.
doing
It's very
wars.
rare, but they don't exist.
They end up doing wars for petty reasons,
So
jealousy or
so
competition.
tribalistic societies, there are some of it where the women are respected because largely, even if you take something that is cultural as time and tide, I say the Yakuza or the triads, especially the Yakuza, very honorable people, but they are criminals. A female crime boss is not, if a person doesn't have a son, they'll honor the daughter, but the daughter is not going to have the same value as a man. Not because the Japanese are sexist, because what you have to do is a Yakuza boss, a woman is not comfortable doing.
And not just that, like just the body itself, you need like rigorous training if you go physical. It's just not the same game. And when you're pregnant, you're like an easy target. Like,
So, and this is another thing. When you go back to people forget this in the modern era with history. Elizabeth, for every female leader you ever saw, the reason why you could not have a female regent is what is the leading cause of death? Was the leading cause of death of women?
pregnancy, when they have their kids.
Childbirth.
Yeah, childbirth. Yeah.
So you could lose your queen regent due to childbirth. So you didn't have a lot of monarchies led by women.
Yeah.
This is why Elizabeth
and
is a
and even
very
even on
rare
these
bit in history.
point, even if you look at strategy, if you know society is led by women and you want to decimate a rival, what do? You take out the queen when she's pregnant.
This is something people forget with modern history. So when you take into account meritocracy, you take into part they think it's a natural order. It's just the way societies work. Here's the other thing people forget why men are more important. You need less men.
Yeah, it's
So,
sad,
in
but
a
it's
post
true.
apocalyptic society, I hate to quote like some films, but it's actually real. So, when the machines in the Matrix trilogy decimate Scion, they let a man choose a certain number of men and a certain number of women. It's always more women.
Yeah,
Why?
9 months.
You only need one man to impregnate a woman, but you need more women to repopulate a species. This was machine logic.
Especially if you want
Men can
diversity in the
go off
DNA.
and die in
So
war,
I think we get the
but
point. That was a
once a
long
man
tangent.
comes home, yes, a woman is pregnant for 9 months, but it's like one man, you can give them 8 women, they can repopulate a species. It
Yeah,
works the same in animals.
that's true. So let's
This is
continue
why
this.
in war, we have never, we do not want women serving on the front lines.
That's true. So
You can
let's
always
continue that.
have more males.
We get it, my friend. Sorry about that. So let's continue here. The manosphere. Online communities including incel, involuntary celibates, and pickup artists that spread misogynistic views and grievances against
You
women.
mute me, or did you just go AFK?
So as much as they exist, we tend to
Yeah,
forget
go
there's
AFK. I'll just finish this point. Let it continue.
uh
It's been the natural order of the world for years.
yeah,
The
yeah, that's true.
decline of every species is the death of female.
We get it, Dragon. We get it.
But I digress.
Yeah.
I guess we're multi-stepped away. But the
I'm
manosphere is
here.
considered
Do you hear me?
toxic
Dragon.
because the manosphere is a study of A bunch of men trying to
Dragon,
reassert their male identity,
dragon.
but they're doing it through the wrong way.
So I think there's an issue with the dragon. Uh, he cannot hear me. So I guess we'll continue here. Uh, again,
Yeah, fucking shit.
so the manosphere, online communities including incel
Okay.
and pickup artists. So
This
we
gonna
have
get
the exact
word.
same thing with the ladies, the woman. The ladies and the woman, they also do the same, but they mostly use TikTok. You don't see as often ladies doing that on YouTube, but
No,
on TikTok, it's cancer. The amount of content of men bashing, partners shaming, and that kind of
I'm not
stuff.
trying to talk over you. I can't hear.
Yeah, you can't hear me. I was speaking. Hopefully he sees these message there.
I'll just mute myself. Let's see if it's YouTube bit.
But again, um, it's funny how we point that way for the incel. While there are also a lot of ladies that don't have a partner, and it's also funny because I've seen some statistics somewhere. I wish I could find it off the bat right now. But it was basically a study where they were saying men and women, liberal and conservative, what they were looking for as partners. And 60% of liberal women wanted liberal partners, while 47% of liberal men wanted liberal women. So from the get go, less men wanted uh, ideology and light being aligned and being on the same page. And a very fascinating aspect was the conservative. They were in the exact same page where I believe it was 37% of conservative women wanted a conservative men, while 36% of conservative men wanted a conservative woman, which was fascinating. And just look at the numbers. When you look at the liberals, and we all know by the last election, whether it's in the USA or Canada, I don't know about Europe, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same. But in Europe, or rewind, in Canada and in the USA, we had a majority of men voting right and a majority of women voting left. So if we just take that and look at the numbers, 60% of ladies want liberal men. And they gotta fight for men, liberal men, that are at 47% and desire to have their values being reflected in the relationship. So there's a 13% gap that's probably lost. So we will have by default a lot of single women if they really adhere and stay on their lane of I want a liberal man, otherwise I'm not dating. Well, you already shrink your pool. And then you take out of the equation the ones that found partners, liberal partners or conservative partner. It shrinks. It shrinks. You know what else you take out? The people that genuinely don't want relationship. They do exist. There's a few of them. I know a few of them. They do exist. It shrinks even more. So you see the big dilemma. So again, we talk about incels, but I think there's the same on the ladies' part, but because feminist values and ladies in general, they won't admit it's also an issue on their side. They just can't fathom that. Don't you dare speaking of equality. Don't you dare saying we are the same. So again, I read that and I'm like, Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It also exists on the left. The next one, control of right, effort to restrict reproductive rights, bodily autonomy, and legal protection for marginalized genders. You know what? Maybe if you look at some Republicans, sure. But you can bet you can find some allies again among the men that want men to flourish and be great. I'm sure some of them are like, let's also protect the ladies and let them choose whether they want to keep a baby or not. So again, generalization is big. Ideological violence, in radical cases, the use of targeted violence, harassment, or threats to enforce traditional gender hierarchies. I've never seen that, folks. Maybe it's a thing in the result, but I've never heard of it or seen it. Maybe when someone goes with a gun and pew pew bunch of people and they say, oh, it's because they're ladies or they're marginalized folks, but I don't think it's forefront. I don't think it's that often. And again, um, it's possible, but I can't think of any example. And so you see, it's very extreme. Everything we read on that is extreme. Male supremacy is extreme based on AI, based on the SPLC. Okay, so muted something in on my end. Okay, well, hopefully it will be fixed your issue. But we read, according to AI, what is male supremacy, and I'm saying that there's part of it that I'm like, oh, I see it, but most of it I think doesn't fit the mold, and I think it's just the left saying stuff and thinking it's happening. They live in their parallel world. Now, now that we read in depth that thing,
Let me say this though. The reason why I don't like AI summaries, which it sounds weird, it's because I'm gonna get something. People hate AI art. AIs right now, okay, early AI models were trained on people asking it questions with it not having access to social media. Now people ask ChatGPT anything. And AI questions are answered based on a consensus of what searches are. Now, there is a thing called the internet theory. So they learn from other AIs, learn from Reddit, they learn from Twitter, they're learning from what this is. Now, the problem is they are also coded with a parameter that I don't think is educated or as well because we gutted the intelligence of it and it's quoting a lot of other sources that it shouldn't quote because it doesn't know the difference between the reason why ChatGPT looks rather extreme. Grok is the better of them, which is weird, but other ones have a slanted model because once it forms its consensus, it's either from other searches or Reddit or a lot of other social media, which is heavily liberal or progressively slanted. Does that make
yeah,
sense, Multi?
it
That's
does.
why AI as a tool, like, there's literally the thing that AI has been asked so much crap that it's going off its old searches or what it was asked before. And if it's drawing from Reddit or summarizing videos, it's not catching it. Now, let me say this stuff. Sorry for that earlier because I have a key on my keyboard.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The other. But I say that the manosphere is the response to go against the third wave feminists that were demeaning men.
Yeah,
Men willingly took themselves out of the dating pool because there was a lot of younger women who were just being misogynist
and
towards
and
men.
and what I was also saying is there are a lot of women that want partners, but here's the thing: they also want to be aligned with their partners, and we have seen it in the US and Canada. I don't know about Europe, but I won't be surprised if it's the case. But men are right leaning while women are left leaning. And you know what? It's not good for partnership and relationship.
You do have liberal men. The thing is,
You do, but there are not as many.
you also got male feminists too. Do you know
I
what
know.
male feminists are?
Yeah, I know. I know. I
They're
know.
worse. They
I wish I
exist.
didn't know, but I know. But again, and I was saying numbers, and it was funny because 60% of liberal women wanted a liberal partner, and I'm like, maths won't math at some point because when you look at men, 47% of liberal men wanted a liberal partner, which is already a 13% gap. So from the get go, they don't necessarily seek for the exact same. And you know what was fascinating that research? It was 37% of women that were conservative wanted the conservative partner, and the conservative men it was 36%. So from the get-go, conservative are far more aligned naturally than effing liberals. And again, among these 47% of liberal men that seek for liberal women, some of them are already in relationships, so that already shrinks the pool. You know what also shrinks the pool? The people that generally don't want relationship, not the black pilled one and the people that are like every woman are bad and yada yada. They are generally people that don't want relationship because they are ace, and maybe they don't know, they don't place a word on it, but that's their lived experience. I have a friend that never had a girlfriend and he doesn't want any, and I think it's for other reason I won't necessarily share, but I understand why in his thought process, and it's generally that guy won't find any partner because he doesn't want a partner. And I'm sure there's the same thing among some of the women as well. So again, the pool keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. People have partner. People are not interested. So again, um,
There's
that
a
was
thing.
that was a tangent.
There's a thing about in dating now, which is interesting. Do you know why the idea? Okay, can males and females both be simps?
Yeah,
Now,
for
the
sure.
definitely is so there's a definition of simp. It's like when you put someone up as an idol that you idolize, right?
Yeah,
Making someone that's important to you. Now, the trick about a lot of this is a lot of men look up to Pokemon. Pokemon's popularity peaked because she looked like a girl you could bring home to mom. That was actually why. This is the charm to a lot of VTubers that are very wholesome.
yeah,
Now, in reality, there's a lot. I've asked this of people I know, and I've got the same answer. They have younger kids that are in their teenager years now. They're afraid to approach women. They have girlfriends, but no girlfriends. Does that make sense?
yeah.
They have girlfriends, but they
But they
don't
don't
have any
have girlfriend.
girlfriends because they can't approach. They cannot. Let's say he's 18. He cannot approach a woman for a relationship at all. Not because he's gay or anything. It's just because he doesn't know how to date.
And he may be bad at it as well because he didn't
It's
practice
just,
enough.
and he ain't alone in that generation. It's
Yeah.
common. Go out to your area where you have young people.
The
Look
Q we
at,
had 6 years ago messed up relationship badly. Um,
and the thing about the manosphere, it's a response. There's what's actually happening, and the interesting part about when people go against, let's just say, the manosphere, right?
yeah,
What they do is they think it's bad, but they don't understand why. It's just as bad as feminists. Feminists are now third wave feminists like 2.5 into 3 are realizing slowly they have fucked up the marriage and the dating pool.
yeah,
They're realizing they're the villains now. One college, like she teaches women's culture studies at a college. She used to have a bunch of men. It's a female professor. Her male students were afraid. She started noticing her male students were afraid to raise questions and ask their questions during class.
because they'd be humiliated and that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
now that we broke down through AI what is a male supremacist, let's take a look to a low hanging fruit, as you called it,
They are
being
low hanging fruit.
yeah, being Fresh and Fit. A video from Fresh and Fit. Did you download what I told you to download?
You gave me more cancer. You just gave me just
Like you're
pearly
gonna rob
things,
a
which is
black
fake.
woman for money.
That's
You can't.
barely things. So we will start with the Fresh and Fit,
So it's
and then
better
we'll
to
get
just
on her.
not have.
So
Okay,
okay,
let
Fresh
me
and
say
Fit
this.
is the
Do
whatever
you know the
podcast.
history of just pearly things? Just pearly
Yeah,
things is a nepo baby.
yeah.
Sorry.
So I guess now what we are doing, we are picking the shortest Fresh and Fit clip I could find, and it's simply because I want to cover uh, the entire thing, and I don't want to spend too much time on them. And the idea here is to see if that reflects male supremacy according to AI. So we will try to connect that dot to the 8 map because the 8 map label Fresh and Fit as male supremacist. And we will also have a commentary on that clip and react to what people are saying and see if it adds up. So let's get into that.
Have any right or wrong, any sense of right or wrong.
I disagree. Like I have
Now
gone
I'm asking
to
this crystal wearing lady.
Oh, me.
So the more open minded you are, meaning
crystal wearing lady. That was a very nice thing to say.
less
Very demeaning. You
You're
know,
wearing
Willie,
crystals.
do you know
You're a crystal wearing lady.
But it's a demeaning comment. You know, you're an emotionally abusive woman as
Oh,
well.
no.
Okay, just so you know.
I don't care. Let me just get this out of the way. I
It's
don't
chaos.
care what your
Okay. We get woman screaming at other woman. And I can already see the left saying, "Oh, it's male supremacist because you cannot criticize women." From the get-go, I see the argument from the left on that clip there. But like again, that goes back to what we said. Feminism, the first two waves were about equality, and now it's no longer about that. Women want to dodge accountability but still get all of the benefit from being a woman. So this is in full display in that clip. It's laughable, and from the get go, okay, maybe if you take a look with the far left lens, you see it goes against woman and it's misogyny. I don't think it is, but some crazy nutcase on the left that live in parallel world, they can see that. I don't know. So trying to play devil's advocate, if we are truly equals, we should be able to criticize both men and women. And if you don't like your lady to be criticized, but you're fine with the man being criticized, then you are no longer about equality. That's how I feel. That's how I see it. So let's play more of
Mental
that.
state
You
is
obviously
how you
do
view
care.
me and what you think of me. No, 'cause
Well, I
what
just need to
I'm
let you
asking
know
you
that's
a
how I
question.
feel.
I'm only interested in
Wait
the
on
debate.
this.
I'm not interested in your
not
personal
just
feelings
so you
about
know
me.
you're not. If you think that, do you feel like there's an inferiority thing going on here? Do you feel
I'm
you're?
not
Do
interested
you
in
feel
the
you're?
psychology
No.
session.
Do you feel that
This
you're
is not one of
inferior?
your therapy
Do you feel
sessions.
that you're on a pedestal? Because I want you to know, I don't look at you like
I
that.
feel that
you're not inferior to anyone at this
I feel
table.
that I want you to.
So I think it's chaos right now. It's really hard to follow what's going on, and maybe it's because I'm tired. But what I will say, we are 1 minute in. I don't see anything hateful in that. Um, One can argue, oh, they criticize women and their behaviors. Uh, in the description of male supremacy, we were criticizing men and incel because incel is now an insult. So I don't know. I don't know. My brain is fried. I've seen several fresh and fit clips out there, but never a full thing because I feel like I will lose brain cell. I think it's already happening. Uh, but I don't see the eightfold thing in what's going on right now. I
I'll
just
see
see
what it
people
is.
arguing and
I'll
screaming at
see
each
what
other.
it kind of is. But what I'm saying is, I guess as a transgender, or you felt like you're on a pedestal. Here's a fun fact: what we said about a lot of trans people. Okay, we told liberals back then, you're going to have to acknowledge men as women, and then you have the famous question, "What is a woman?" And then Terps in UK, they broke what is sex. I'm going to ask you this. Is a trans woman a woman?
Um, to be honest, I'd say
Be
yes,
honest.
and that's my Canadian vibe that speaks up right now. I'm Canadian. I do believe there's a lot of extremists in the movement, but I do think they exist, and if they feel as women and they were not groomed into believing that, I think they are. But on a more biological aspect, you cannot change that. Like it's hard for me to say, like
It's not on the spot. It's normal.
it's I think if you really speak science and science only, a trance is a trance. It's not, you cannot change that.
Biology and genetics.
But your psychology and all you view yourself, I do think it's a thing.
Okay.
But again, if you really look at science, you cannot change that.
So some argue a woman is a sex, a member of a sex, a female that can give birth. So,
Trans cannot give birth. I'm sorry, folks,
but
but like
they
no.
have at least the equipment, and then people will go, sure, you have to acknowledge that. That's why the question of what is a woman baffled a lot of progressives and liberals, where they had to accept these people as women. That's the kind of thing. Now, if you ask a member of the gay community, I'm going to ask you this. We go over televisions and movies.
Yeah.
How much of the average population is gay? Do you think?
I have no idea, but if I don't research and just think, I'd say probably 20 to 30% might be gay.
I will say the average biology is about at best of a given population, we used to say 10 to 15%. Let's say maybe on average 10 to 15% of the population, 20 max. There's a lot of people who claim to be gay and are not. Now,
Maybe that's why I'm
of
leaning
that
more
gay
toward 30.
population, how many do you think are trans?
If we pick everyone, that's less than probably 10%.
5%.
That was what I was about to say. Between 5 and
5% of a gay population is maybe trans. Yeah, I hate to say it. These are the actual numbers we work off as actual. So why are 40 or 50% of people in film gay or trans?
Because diversity.
Because I asked this. Do you see the connection of how I connected that? They market films to a minority. So every show has half the cast is gay. That's not even the case
for 20% of the population.
For like 20% of the population.
And even among them, some of them are like, stop pandering. I don't like it. So it's like, bruh, come on. Like, I know a gay, and that guy is like, I'm so tired with the pandering, and I'm like, I get you. I'm glad I'm not in your shoes. Let's play more of that now. These so-called male supremacists, and so far we only had women speaking, by the way. So apparently, women can be male supremacists, folks.
Do you know the whatever podcast who they really are? They're very famous for
not doing what they preach and what they say.
No, here's the thing. One half of it are normal conservatives. They're normal conservatives. The women, like, that's why they divide it. Like, the one woman is a normal conservative woman. They got famous for debating with e-thoughts and OnlyFans whores.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
This I know.
The thing is, it was contrasting the others, or they would bring on a trans person, stuff like that, to discuss stuff. But the trick about it is, you got to bear in mind, one on the far is a kind of traditional Christian talking to these ones on the other side. So just let it play out. If that's the context, do you feel as a trans person on a pedestal? That was the question.
To answer my logical question.
I just want you to know you're not inferior.
Thanks. Good to know. Anyways, back to this.
I mean, I'm sorry, you're not superior.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I meant.
Anyway, if you would engage the conversation now, I'm asking, do you think it's better to be less willing to put restrictions on morality? So you think the less rules, the less we say something is right or wrong, the better it is?
What I noticed is I was Christian for many.
Some people don't understand or realize they did something wrong. So we need to tell them.
I
feel like the chicken black will say, no, you don't need to tell them.
Can I just point out to you, just Pearly Things decided to put on a German, what she thinks is a German Kaiser helm. She thinks it's a Nazi helm, but that is really a Prussian war helm from World War I.
I don't know.
You know, okay, history.
That's attention. We are not at Pearly Things yet. Keep that for Pearly Things singing.
You see the woman in the corner that just put on, it looks like the little spiked hat. That is a Prussian. That is a Prussian World War I helmet.
Wow.
And she thinks it's a Nazi thing, but it's a Prussian World War I helmet with the spike.
IQ room temperature, folks.
Yes.
Maybe below even.
Years, and Christians believe in
Total
abstinence
non-answer.
believe
marriage. Total
You're
non-answer.
not answering the question.
Well,
Do you
I'm
think
getting
it's better?
I'm going
yes or
around
no?
about
Do you
to
think it's better to have less restrictions on what we determine as right or wrong morally?
less restrictions on
Yes.
it.
Do you think it's just
Give me
better?
an example.
So, like, would you say, oh, we shouldn't judge? That means what's right for you is right for you, and
Correct.
it's subjective, and whatever you want to do is fine. So, how do we know when somebody is doing wrong?
Right.
And by the way, if it's okay for me to take a life, does that mean I should be taking lives? I that logic from the get-go is deeply flawed, and it's hilarious. I love it.
I think we have to have our own moral compass.
Then how can you tell me when I'm wrong?
Because
if you have your own moral compass and I have my own moral compass,
you're affecting
how
me.
can you tell me?
Your actions are affecting me.
You're
just so you
my
know.
actions affect you.
Oh, hopefully we all agree that taking lives is wrong and you shouldn't be doing that. But according to her, like, to each their own, right? Right. That gotcha was cool.
The way you talk to me
could
does.
it be that your actions affect me too?
Absolutely.
Is that objective?
But I don't.
Is that objective?
But I don't demean you like you demean me.
Is that objective?
I have not.
That's
I haven't
irrelevant.
demeaned you.
You said she was brainwashed.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
I understand how that could be
So-
offensive too, but I'm actually.
Is that objective?
I'm trying to open up your mind because you're obviously so.
I'm trying to have a
closed-minded.
The left likes to throw that around. Oh my ears! I lost brain cell. Oh, bruh. When every institution is left-leaning, who is the brainwashed?
We call this propaganda brain. By the way, have you ever noticed how many liberals and atheists quote the Bible better than an actual Christian nowadays? Jesus. Like, it's not because they go, oh, Christians are bad people.
I'm losing my sanity right now.
So there's a school of thought in liberal debate. If you learn the lines of attack and you use it, so the thing is, the argument, I get her argument. The problem is, by the way, the woman in the blonde isn't the smartest.
But I feel like the chicken blacks is worse.
None of them are worse. Okay.
But I mean, they're at fresh and fit.
I
so
know.
The bar is low.
I know about
It's not aviator. They're
the
just
whatever
there for the
podcast, but like the problem is it looks like she has the own. And here's the other thing that is very biological amongst women. Okay, I ask you, you grew up in mostly probably male-centric environments. What happens when you have multiple males in a place?
No,
Do they infight and
my
undercut?
surrounding is chicks, bro.
Okay.
I have more female cousin than
When
male
you
cousin.
see a male-dominated job or a hierarchy, what do the men do?
They
traditional.
laugh at each other and they when they fight, they hit each other until they KO.
How
and
do
then
they
they
work?
forgive themselves?
No, I ask, how do men organize themselves? You get a leader, right? And
Yeah.
they fall in line under a leader.
Yeah.
You don't see the nitpicking and the backstabbing amongst women. Women hate it when other women become popular. So, women fight amongst each other
To make sure they remain on top.
quite frequently. Which sounds weird. Yes. That's why I bring that up. Women don't naturally observe an order of things. Men in a male society or a male group will understand there can only be one alpha or a leadership class. Very rare does another man undermine a man. Basically, when you see women argue, they're always going to argue from a position of moral authority. And then they'll proceed to undercut another woman.
That's also why most of them are liberal, because that's a liberal way of thinking.
There you go.
National discussion with you.
Right.
I don't care about your psychological interpretations. I don't care about your feelings.
I will pause here because I am about to forget what I want to say. We are 2 minutes 38 seconds into that video, and at no time we heard talks about men and women's rights. We only talked about accountability and moral compass. I don't see the eightfold aspect to it. If there's misogyny here, women are always doing misandry, so I'm losing my sanity once again. So again, we are 2 minutes 38 seconds into that, and the verdict so far is it's crazy to think these are eightfold people. So let's play more of that now.
What I want to know is, how do we, from a societal perspective, understand when somebody is doing something wrong? Because we have to have laws.
Right.
We have to be able to arrest people for doing something wrong or bad that violates the law. How do we know when someone's doing something wrong or bad if we just say, well, you get to decide and she gets it? We all have our own moral compass.
Yeah, we do have laws.
So is there objective morality or not?
There is, of course.
Give me an example of something that would be objectively morally wrong.
Well, murder.
Oh, well, but murder just means unjustified taking of life.
Right.
Who determines what's justified? You?
I understand.
So what makes it objective?
I don't.
Hang on. Let her answer.
Anybody
I would love a pop.
What makes it objective? What?
Alina?
I guess I was just trying to make a point. I'm not sure what you're getting to, but
3.
I just don't understand, why do you care what she's doing so much?
Why do you care what I'm doing?
If you answer the question you were asked, we'll find out, right?
Right, because you started judging me first.
So
I'm not going to keep getting kicked in the knee over and over again.
Do you judge?
I'm going to stand up for myself and be an empowered woman.
What if you're wrong?
Yeah, what if you're incorrect?
Well,
what if you're wrong?
What if you're wrong?
Well,
he is questioning a lady there, so maybe it's where the 8 is coming from, questioning someone else. We found it, folks. I think it's just crazy. If we cannot question anything, are we really turning our society into something that cannot be critical of anything? Or that cannot be critical of women? Are we really heading toward that very dark path? So you know what? Elect a woman in charge, and she can do no wrong. She will put people in camps, and she'll be right because that's a woman. Is that really the thought process we want to adopt as a society? Crazy. The crazy that's happening here. Again, I exaggerate. But I truly feel like so far there was no hatred. It's just accountability. It's just questioning thought process and beliefs. I think we need that kind of debate and discussion in society. I lost brain cell because these people on that panel are stupid, but the debate itself is quite important. We need to debate in a free country. I think it's a need. It's a must.
Right.
So
this is what the test of debate is, right?
Yeah, right. That's debate.
How do we figure out who's wrong?
Right. But when it gets to the point of demeaning people,
should I demean someone who abuses children?
Why can't you?
The meaning can be vague, I think criticizing someone by saying you did something wrong It's not demeaning. I think it's fair critique. But according to other people, it's demeaning. Do you know where I'm getting at? It's not a fact. It's just opinion-based. And it's the liberal vision on things. And it's hilarious because they keep bringing up, oh, rule of law, but they don't really apply rule of law because it's rule of my fifi. So let's continue here.
No, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't demean someone who abuses
You
children.
shouldn't demean anybody.
Oh, so if
Can we
somebody
demean Jeffrey Dahmer?
I mean, what's the purpose of demeaning people?
So you
just mind your own business.
Is demeaning
so if someone
just mind your own business.
If someone is
People
abusing someone sexually,
I mean, if you're
I
watching,
should mind my own business.
What I mean is, like,
Just-
if you're a part of it, if you're seeing it, of course you
you're
have
way
to do
out of
something.
line here. How could you demean Jeffrey Dahmer,
You
Rachel?
would be one of the women in the UK who would be defending the gang rapists.
Go ahead and say something
That
else
would be
negative.
you.
You look really good right now. The way you're talking to me, doesn't
I
she?
do think I'm having a good hair day
Doesn't all of
today.
the things she says to
You've
me
had
so
some
nice?
comments on screen about how
There,
very
you try to project me as a crazy person. You're actually
that's
projecting.
you. No.
Well, I think she is. And here's the why. She thinks it's demeaning to be criticized. She doesn't like accountability. And she cherry pick a bunch of things. And she keeps screaming at people. And granted, other people also scream at her right now. And I think it's not my observation, my opinion of that person, or not fact. But in my opinion, they are very much crazy. Let's play more.
Absolutely not. You're projecting.
Chat,
you
She is
obviously.
projecting
You guys
as
can let her
well.
know who you think is the crazy person. Is it me
It's
or is
definitely
it her?
her.
Okay.
It's definitely.
Well, let me
her.
ask you this.
You're totally delusional.
What?
No, you're totally
What
delusional.
is she actually doing that's crazy?
Yeah.
Just the way she
all
talks
crazy.
to. It's just
It's
the way
my
she
tone,
talks.
isn't it?
Just a vibe?
Is it my tone?
It's her superiority complex.
Oh.
She has a really big one.
I wouldn't say
She's not.
She also has one. The chicken black is hilarious because she also has that complex. It's rich. It's rich. I see that. I'm like, everything she owes against someone else, she does the same thing. Fascinating. Fascinating human nature, folks. Human nature.
Crazy. I think what she does is extremely unique. I think we don't
Right.
run into a lot of people that have these types of jobs that come here, travel from Texas,
Right.
to come and talk to these types of people. I wouldn't say she's crazy. I think like what she does is unique. You
Very
know?
different
It is
cultures.
different. It is very different.
Different
It is
cultural
different. And I think I know you guys say
But she puts herself on a pedestal.
Do
I mean,
Absolutely.
Well,
Right
black
and wrong.
chick
I
got
feel-
girl as well.
Shouldn't
I don't
empowered
say-
women do that?
Yeah, don't you want me to be empowered?
Shouldn't empowered women
mean,
put themselves on
I
a
came-
pedestal?
I
Or is it only you
I
guys
came
who get
in
to be
here-
Only
I
if you
came in
share
here-
their ideology. Only if you share their ideology, you can put yourself on a pedestal. That's all the left is.
With good vibes,
I
and
didn't
then
say that.
I mean, as soon as you started putting me down, I totally changed
I
my
just feel
perspective.
I feel like we can
So I had a good
You
feeling
should be
towards you.
empowered, but not me.
When I came in here, I had good feelings.
That's because I'm
towards you.
challenging your bullshit, and I'm proving and demonstrating
and
to the whole world
and
that
I'm
it's bullshit.
challenging your bullshit.
What?
You can't
Your worship.
logically refute
Do you know
a thing I've
Jesus?
said.
Jesus wants to be left alone. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah? Did,
I'm going to look at you in the eyes and
told
tell
her
you,
more.
Jesus really wants everyone to leave him alone.
did your ex-husband who you contacted want you to leave him alone?
My subconscious, I did that hypnosis session and I received inspiration.
A demon.
Yes.
Hypnosis is actually like backed.
Absolutely.
Like you can get hypnosis covered.
Really?
by
You're going to
health
defend
insurance.
her
deep under,
contacting
too.
Jesus? You think Jesus and the dead husband are talking to her?
And the sound is off here.
I'm kind of glad you unpaused this. I was about to. Hypnosis? Oh, what the fuck did I hear, Multi?
I don't know. Crazy
Good.
talk. So we covered the entire Fresh and Fit segment. The only thing I see that's hateful or male supremacist is accountability. But again, I don't think it should be there. Why is Fresh and Fit over there on the 8 map? There was nothing hateful in these 7 minutes. It's about accountability. It's about moral compass. It was a debate, folks. And at no point I heard someone saying we should strip away rights. At no point I said people are superior or not. Yes, they had a debate. They were screaming at each other saying, oh, you think you're superior. Of course they did that. But they didn't say men are better and men are this, men are that. They criticized ideology and ideas.
I'll be very honest. You know what I heard that hurts my brain is the woman that was like in the black, and there was the other where they were like talking about. Do you know how hypnosis and other metaphysical stuff help the brain? I'm like, so you are doing the Instagram inspirational brain rot. What are we on about? No, I think a lot of what that is, I don't think that's a good example because the whatever podcast is just a bunch of different people from weird cultural subgroups who have weird conversations. Like, I think the average person on the left is a scholar, doesn't care what hypnosis is or inspiration or manifesting stuff is.
And I'll also say this: it's hilarious that I feel like the right-leaning person was far more
logical,
a feminist than the other one. I think she is the one that wanted to elevate others, and the chick in black, she was playing victim, and she was like, oh, it's demeaning. And like the one that was seeking for higher standards and for greatness, that was the right-leaning person. My brain is fried right now. I lost brain cell watching that, but there's nothing hateful about these 7 minutes we covered Fresh and Fit. But yet it's on the 8 map, folks. So I guess now it's the next example. Just barely thing. That chick is the one that at that moment
you gotta
that
go for
said,
the white
"Oh,
man.
women shouldn't be
You're
voting."
gonna rob.
So let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Today, we are going to watch a woman do what women really do best, and that's falsely accuse men of things. Women don't beat men at anything except lying and being terrible people. So now we're going to watch a woman try to lie about being stolen.
Okay, I admit this is quite okay. This is quite offensive, that start. But is it hateful? I don't think so. I think it's offensive. It's annoying, but I don't think she incites violence or anything. She's just like being mean. Let's play more.
From so she doesn't have to pay.
She's trying to avoid payment. That's what's up.
I understand.
That's the case here.
I've been doing this 14 years. Give me
Thank you. What's going on, ladies?
How you doing?
Good, I'm Ali. Nice to meet you.
I'm Nay.
Hey, Nay, what's up? What's going on? You lost your keys?
Yeah, lost the keys to the car, and I need to hurry up and get in here. I'm trying to go do my thing.
What happened here?
Oh, you know how to fix this or something?
No.
Okay, how much you gonna cost to get my key?
It's 300 because it's a push start, right?
How long it's gonna take?
About 15-20 minutes.
I gotta get some out of this plug compartment.
Go ahead.
Oh my god, I think you can. Sir, was you just in the glove compartment?
We are 1 minute in. She barely paused, and that's a 5-minute video. Okay. Interesting. Can you have a commentary, please? Just barely thing. I want to see if you are eightful. I want to see if she's eightful because she's on the 8 map.
What do you mean?
Was you just in the glove compartment? Did you go through the glove compartment?
No, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch anything. I'm just doing this. I'm programming it. What do you mean?
I'm missing money, and I'm trying to figure out where the is my money at.
You think I really took your money?
Obviously it was in there.
Dude, don't. I'm a locksmith, dude. I can't do my work. I don't care for your money. I didn't touch it.
People can't steal. People obviously steal.
I didn't touch your shit. You really think if I'm gonna, yo, bro, chill. I'm a locksmith. If I decide to cross the lines, you're not gonna be my target, boy. I can unlock anything I want.
It's paranoid. But again, now we are a minute and a half, and Pearly just didn't say anything. Maybe she's playing the entire thing and then she has a commentary. But where's the eightful thing here? Highlighting someone, blaming someone else for stealing? I don't know.
Yeah, like you're gonna rob a black woman for money. Are you kidding me? You got to go for the white man if you're gonna rob her. The white.
I won't lie. Black ladies, they like money. And they do have money if they want it. They find ways. But that line of questioning was weird from just Pearly thing. Again, I don't see the eightful thing. Yes, she is taking shots at the idea that maybe you shouldn't go after a black chick if you want to steal money. That's Pearly thing idea there, but again, it's being mean, but I don't think it's hateful. She doesn't say we should beat down people. She doesn't say we should use violence, we should revolt. No. She is just sharing opinions. And I don't think these opinions are harmful. They are mean. I'm mean all the time. Does that mean I'm hateful? What if you say something I think is mean? Now you are the hateful one. So I guess we'll play that now.
Come over here and they'll get it together.
Call the
You're about to get your... Yes, I need someone to come to my address because this locksmith just stole my money from out of my envelope and it was $500. I need
You really think I took it?
Yeah.
He's not Hispanic. I apologize. He's not Hispanic. He might be Latino.
It doesn't matter what I am. I'm a person. I'm a human being.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, right, man. I'm a locksmith. Hold on. No. Let's.
She called. We talked to her first.
I respect everything. I have everything recorded. She's trying to avoid payment. That's what's up.
I understand.
That's the case here.
I've been doing this 14 years. Give me
Thank you. I'm a locksmith. You really think I need your money? I'm not.
Interrupt again. I'm gonna put you in handcuffs. Okay, boss. See, this is how it works. Now it's your turn.
Okay, I appreciate you.
At any point, did you go in the glove compartment and take $5?
No, but here's the deal, man.
That's all I need.
Yeah, never. Now you can search my car. All I have there is 20s, 10s, 5s. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Everybody here is about to go to jail. Every single person.
What?
That story is fascinating. So locksmith guy just does his job and may risk prison because some Karen. Wow. But again, I don't see what's hateful in all of that.
I think you're ignoring the weird fuckery is the cop is like, because you're impeding it, I'm going to arrest the locksmith. I mean, the cop is okay. If you notice it, that's probably a Metro cop, which sounds weird. That's what we would call a Metro cop. Metro cops are like traffic cops, etc., etc. They're gonna have difference.
Okay.
Stuff. Now, reality is arresting the person. Now, I will say just Pearly Things is a really bad problem at transforming video clips.
I
This
see
is
that.
something she's really been bad at for years.
I see that. Like she has like 3 or 4 words.
You need to disrupt it enough. But she is part of React Slut. But if this is recent of her, she's going downhill and she's not outside of her 20s. She's like maybe almost 30. Jeez.
That's fascinating. That video is actually trash. And it's funny because I've heard about her viral video. I've seen the viral video where she's like, women shouldn't vote. But
that was her when she was like 3 or 4 years ago, and she looked better than she already looks like she's close to 30. Like, I'm sorry, she already looks like she's hitting a wall.
Yeah.
But it could just be genetics, okay? Could just be.
Again, that's the only thing I've seen from her. And right now I'm not really entertained. I don't know, like she lacks commentary.
She hasn't been really viral in a while, if that's what you mean. It's not like she has nothing really viral. Like, she doesn't have really the viral clips like she used to. Because I forget,
if she does content like that, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's not great.
She did a lot of reaction content in the manosphere stuff, but then just Pearly things kind of evaporated from the internet a little bit. Like the main zeitgeist. She's referenced in circles, but not by much. It's like Fresh and Fit. Once Fresh and Fit or ABBA and Preach as well got banned from YouTube, they didn't have the cultural significance anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I guess we'll play more, but like I'm not impressed. Pearly is not so great anymore.
Oh my gosh! So now they're trying to say the baby daddy took it.
He took the money. The baby daddy took the money. Okay. We don't need to search your car.
And got to keep on. I am so sorry, sir.
Thank y'all for what y'all do.
Sir, I got
Black, you have got to be kidding me.
frustrated.
And I'm not trying to give you guys. Hey, I respect you all. I'm not trying to give you her.
I could be a big girl and apologize that you didn't take it. It was just that you were.
How about okay? She said, "Oh, I apologize that you didn't take it, but you're just being real effing weird." Women's apologies are terrible.
Being real fucking weird.
Sorry for interrupting you.
That's okay. That's okay.
How was that weird?
Okay, hey, look, we're all.
That was a bit demeaning, but is it hateful? I don't think so. Again, hate is very vague, and it depends on your lens and your point of view. I think it's mean. Again, I'm mean all the time, and a lot of people are mean all the time. Are we hateful? I don't think so.
Are you guys going to be able to agree on for services when we leave here?
Yeah, I'm a big girl.
Okay.
You are a big girl. That's for sure. About 50 pounds too big.
That's not fair though.
Okay.
I want you to write me a good review on Google after that.
I mean, because he did.
Wow. That's what I say. Body cam is really gonna let the truth come out, which is
I
that
didn't take no shit.
men are being harassed by women. Like they always say that men are harassing women, but in all actuality, women are harassing men mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, what don't women take from you? They take your soul, your dignity, everything good that you've done in your life. They steal your house, your kids.
Okay, I see that it's anti-feminist and it's very mean toward women, but again, I don't think it's hateful.
Okay, I said she was about, because when I said this woman was roughly a Nepo baby, she is like Hassan. She gained a lot of fame from being a Nepo baby, right? Her mother is, I forget like what her parents do. She decided that the easy route is, I guess the parents could hook her up with a job. So she decided to go do this. Now, what is very fucked up about it is she hates, like, okay, what you're hearing now is why some feminists dislike her. but she also subtly grifted a lot of culture. When you think of a grifter, she is a grifter.
She is one.
She is like okay. Let's assume. Do you know what a pick-me is?
Yeah.
So she kind of had the pick-me culture to it. A little bit. Now, the reason why I look personally, she's not culturally relevant anymore. It's like saying Marlon or Marion or whatever the guy is from Fish and Fit or ABBA and Preach. No one cares after he was. Everyone just looked at him like he was retarded. The weird part is the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God has more views than them nowadays. That's kind of what's terrible. So when people call her, is she kind of female chuddy in a pick-me? Yes. Now, realistically, it's interesting how she's leveled out. Personally, when you look at a lot, I don't like, this is why I said this was a very bad detour. She's kind of culturally irrelevant. That's why I said, is Nick Fuentes culturally irrelevant? No. He popped up, him and Candace Owens, as an example, popped up to try to influence right-wing people in our elections, saying dumb shit, then turns around and says, we're not going to vote for Trump. Okay. Yeah, Groiper, we know you're not a conservative. We know neither of you are conservative. We know Tucker Carlson's a grifter. Good job. Now go off and do your journalism. The problem with a lot of SPLC, they see people like this. I could summarize this. They see people like this and think they're more culturally important than they actually are. Then, when the real anti-Semitists and the real people come out, like if you bring up the hate map and you actually look, they only deem certain people that because they don't make the connection. Because because they started saying if society goes too far right, you're going to have a Christian theocracy because that's what the neocons were doing. This is why, look, I usually go out of my way to avoid just pearly things. Fresh and Fit and all of them. I had an argument this year with an idiot who just does social engagement grifting, and he's a fat ogre. I didn't realize I was muted on Discord. My bad. So I had an argument with one idiot amongst Twitter. His name is Matt. He runs a magic channel and he runs a bunch of other stuff. And he makes his fame arguing with Andrew Tate bots and other people. And he is basically getting fat. He's a fat liberal ogre troll who's bisexual. He's 340 plus pounds. Yet he makes fun of people like the others, if that makes sense. This is why I don't hold these people relevant. So, and anyone who backs it up and believes these people are hateful, you are just as bad as them because you're doing the cultural grift like everybody else is. Now, but when the SPLC calls the KKK a hate group, I get why. But you should also have the Muslim Brotherhood on there. You should have the Nation of Islam on there. not the Christian organizations. Now, certain militia groups, that's if he wants to get into the actual hate map of what stuff is.
Yeah, we will get into it, but
because there's the part, but you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
They actually believe these people are far more relevant because people on Twitter believe Fresh and Fit is still real. They're not. After they got banned from YouTube, even ABBA and Preach went down in popularity.
Yeah. Let's play more of that, but I get the gist of it and I see what people say. I don't agree, but I see it.
Kids, your reputation. So I really like body cam footage. I think it's great because women were really good at being big fat slut whores, and it's just coming out. And it's too bad the conservative men.
That's demeaning and mean. Again, is it hateful? I don't think so, but I do think it's demeaning. I do think it's mean. But again, not hateful.
And what the conservative men do is say, "Oh, she didn't mean it." Women aren't really big fat slut whores. They're just brainwashed into being big fat slut whores. And it's like, no, I think we do know exactly what we're doing, unfortunately. Right? I think we know how to big fat.
She doesn't advocate for like having pitchfork and going after minorities and such. She doesn't advocate for that. So again, I don't think that's hateful content. But again, I do think it's mean, and being mean doesn't mean hateful in my books.
That slut whore it up and lie and be bad people. And men are meant to correct women and hold them accountable, but they never do.
Like they could have falsely. Ears. I lost brain cell. I don't agree with this crap. And that statement there could align with male supremacists there. But overall, that video was 5 minutes, and she was ranting about a bunch of different things on the small amount of.
I was gonna say her whole. Do you know what happened after she did the manosphere grift? She decided to go the whole, instead of the mini feminist route, to the whole trad wife route.
Wow.
The trad wife is the traditional wife.
I know, I get it.
What you just heard?
But she's single, isn't she?
Think so. So was Pokey Bay.
Fascinating. I've heard everything and seen everything.
Cute, like, did they pursue seeing if that woman falsely accused him? No. She's just going to get off. She wasted the police's time, resources, and money, and she's just going to get off scotch-free. Women. So, anyways. All right, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I love you. Thanks for watching.
Well, it was 5 minute-ish, and there was maybe a minute of being mean and 30 seconds of actual male supremacy propaganda. But I don't think the rest of that is male supremacist or extremist. I do think she's mean. I do think she generalizes a lot. So do the left generalize a lot as well. So I don't know. I don't think just Pearly thing belong on that 8 map, but apparently she is on the 8 map, and I will screen share that, and then I will let you drive us around the 8 map because I think you navigate far better the map than me. So just Pearly thing, the chick we just seen, is male supremacist apparently, and she's a chick. Yes, she's mean. I don't think
I would say look up demeaning women, because that's how they during the congressional hearing their definition of what makes a person a hate group or a hateful ideology is a person who is an influential person that spreads a hatred or dislike or drives it of a group. Like, we're not going to have the argument that she's not the best influencer. She's very borderline dumb. And I'm not saying this because she's a woman. I listen to her. She's about as intelligent as a kumquat.
I lost brain cell watching 5 minutes of her thing. And she didn't even speak for 5 minutes. She spoke for like 2 minutes.
Like, look,
yeah.
do you consider, like, it's like us listening to an Andrew Tate clip and thinking that Andrew Tate's remotely intelligent, right?
Yeah.
It's like me thinking to a jock, which is roughly super intelligent.
I think Tate is on that list, probably.
No, he's not in the U.S.
Andrew
See if he's
Tate.
there. Andrew Tate's not in the U.S.
Andrew Tate is there. You know what? Andrew Tate, I do think he is a male supremacist. I do agree with that. Is he hateful? I don't think so. Well, it depends on what he says. To be honest, I've only heard about him. I haven't got around watching full videos about him. But yeah. Now you are in charge, my friend. Drive us around the 8 map. So I will screen share whatever you want us to see and cover. Do you have the 8 map? Dragon? Dragon!
One second, Multi. I'll get it.
Okay. Well, again, we got far right. The far left exists. Is the far left on the 8 map? You know what? Let's do that test right now. Antifa. Is it there? Are the Antifa here? I don't see Antifa being quite there. We see neo-Nazi. Oh, there we go. 8 watch designating Antifa as domestic terror organization is dangerous, threatens civil liberties. Amid sustained civil unrest at protests over ending George Floyd, President Donald Trump tweeted, "The USA will be designating Antifa a terror organization."
So here's a little long story short, like a lot of people and conservatives have asked. You have a lot of like people who are there, but they're not there. It's like, why is anti-Semitic people, organizations such as a thing, why are they not, like, Why is it only less than a half a dozen members of the Muslim Brotherhood or the Nation of Islam on the anti-Semitic section? Why? Look it up. I'll take it around. I'm about to bring this up myself the other. It's like I
really suck at it. So
I gotta go through this. So let me bring it up on my end. I'll get through it.
Again, my question is why Antifa isn't there. I mean, they shoot people. They want to eradicate the right, and it's not there. Like, they incite literally to violence and violent acts, yet they're not considered hateful in that 8 map.
I will say this. This is the really, really weird. Okay, weird question. Do you consider per capita racist?
Per capita?
Mm-hmm. So do you, when
GDP?
Do you say when black people are arguably only 20% of a population?
That's fine. I mean, they
are 40% of a crime, right?
Well, if it's the truth, if it's actual statistics that are backed by fact and reality, it's not racist.
So when the FBI says, I brought it up on my end, so you can bring it up here. So how they do data aggregately is by per capita. Per capita is FBI, how they've hit it in stats. When I say in an area that is a ghetto populated by Mexicans or Latinos, Hispanics, and other people, they make up a majority of arrests for cops in a city. Let's assume they're 25% of a population. They make up about, let's say, 30-40% of the prison population. Is that backed racist, or is that just by numbers?
If it's backed by fact and reality, it is not racist.
Okay, now we agree. Now, see, per capita is a thing where they look. So per capita is, so let's go. This is how I show people this. They say Christian identity, let's say hate music. Here, they say that this is a thing. Groups per capita, they go, okay, where is the worst? Why is there more?
Montana is a blue state, isn't it?
Montana's an independent state, but let's assume per capita, largely, Montana is a very lawless state. Brief history on them. They used to not observe speed limits. Okay?
Wow. That must be chaos.
Speed limits are a state funding mechanism. Basically. Speed limits are suggested, but ticketable. Now, Montana is very backwoods, very much like blasted wasteland. Montana is what used to Texas Lincoln State funding. Oklahoma is a very red state. Colorado, unironically, was a purple state. Okay?
Interesting.
But in recent years has gone more liberal. See, do you consider Gays Against Groomers a terrible organization?
No.
What does
I
that
don't like
mean?
groomers. So I'm glad gays are standing up.
Okay, long story short, Gays Against Groomers is an organization that tries to fight the stereotype where you have older men and older adults prey on children for relationships. It's usually a sexual predator rape. No one wants to talk about it, despite the stereotype of a gay man having a lover half his age.
Wow.
Which, call that, okay.
That's disgusting.
Fun fact, and I'm not to say this makes you disgusting about one of the creators of Doctor Who in modern era. Russell T Davies, his boyfriend's about half his age and a twink.
Wow.
Okay,
so I will say you I will ask you this. So is the Gay Against Groomer a 8 group according to the 8 map?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you know what? We will dissect that.
So here you have folkish active clubs.
No, we will focus on
No, I want to go over this first.
We will cover the others. Keep the others there, but we will focus our attention for the next few minutes on Gays Against Groomers, and then we will move over the others. So now keep that in mind. Keep that list in mind that you want us to cover. We will start with Gays Against Groomers because that one is interesting. Apparently, it's the A group. I will keep that in mind. Keep that list there. I will screen share according to AI what are the Gays Against Groomers. So, again, it's not perfect. It's AI, but it's a tool to have a good idea on what's up with that. So I searched Gay Against Groomers. Gay Against Groomers, JAJ, is an American political organization founded in June 2022 by political operative Jamie Mitchell, composed primarily of cisgender gay men and lesbian. The group campaigns intensively against gender-affirming care for minor, LGBTQ+, inclusive school curricula, drag performance accessible to children, and transgender inclusion in gender-segregated space. While the group presents itself as an international coalition of the LGBTQ+, community protecting children, civil rights organization, and researchers classify it as a far-right anti-LGBTQ+ extremist group. I think there's something weird about that, simply because we speak about gays and lesbian. Like, aren't the gays and lesbian progressive? But no, they criticize the left. They can't be the left. The left doesn't authorize the left to criticize the left. From the start of that, do they hold conservative values? Maybe. Is it far right?
See, what has them on the hate map is that opposition to gender affirming care for minors. And they also want responsible, I guess if it goes down, they want responsible teaching.
Yeah, but we will just stay on that first paragraph for now. We will move down after. Like, I just think it's crazy. I got a trans cousin, and I do think the case of that person is real. That person wasn't groomed into it. But there are groom cases, or there are cases where parents like attention. And what's the best way to say your children is different from all of the others? Food for thoughts, folks. But again, if you dare to criticize the left, you're far right. Even if you sleep with other guys when you're a guy, or if you're a chick that like chicks, you're far right. Right. Like, I'm sure they would be horrified if someone would say restore the conversion therapy, which is like, I don't want it to be restored, but I mean, imagine their reaction to someone that goes at them and say that. Do you really think they would agree and say, yeah, let's restore conversion therapy? Something just doesn't add up. Like, it's like the anti-Chris right now. Like, when you're an ally, you like the gays and the lesbian, except if they are far right, like right now. Let's go down the other paragraph now. Core platform and activities: opposition to gender affirming care. The group actively lobbies for bans on medical transition for minors, characterizing surgeries and puberty blockers as mutilation. I can't understand that. And puberty blockers, there's not enough non-taboo. There's not enough awareness brought to people. I think if more parents knew the damage it would do to their kids, they wouldn't be using them. But that's not helpful for the doctors that wants you to use their medication. So again, I think it's a very complex issue, but I think it's not great. These pills, these blockers, it's not great, and I agree with that. I think it's a form of mutilation. It's like cutting pieces of yourself, and again, it's to children. They're not done growing and evolving. I'm far right, apparently. Protest and advocacy. Members testify at legislative hearing, protest a drag queen story hour events, and campaign to ban LGBTQ plus teen books from public school and libraries. It's hilarious. We speak about gays and lesbian against grooming, and they want to ban the books. That should make them proud.
Okay, here's the part that get these people why this organization is really weird. I'm going to ask you this because I know in Canada that they are very progressive. Do you think drag queens should read stories to children about things early on?
I don't think so, but I'm more of a conservative, my friend.
The funny part is there was a video that Arch played that showed a Canadian performance before what it was like a politician thing, and it made its rounds through. It's probably an older clip in recent times. They brought a drag queen to do a performance at a government function.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know about it.
Yeah. There are things you cannot unsee after.
And then the funny thing about them is they're just traditional gay people who do not like the QIA plus section of the gay identity. So rejection of modern pride events. So modern pride events will have parades with people in fetish gear. See, this is what's funny, as we've said about no one really cares if people are openly gay, whatever else.
Almost every day in June, my friend, in the metro, there was always these people wearing weird dog things, and I was like, "Bruh, I don't want to see it."
No,
in the metro.
No, they go to these pride fairs with assless chaps, fetish gear, and they bring children to these events.
There are children and they metro and they see that they're like, what's going on, mommy, daddy?
No,
What kind of discussion do you have with your kid after? You're like, bruh.
They have these people who do pet play, dog play, assless chaps at these events. They are against their community being shown as fetishes, not to hide it, because they're in the floats, in the parades.
Like, speaking of parades, like, our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, decided during a pride event to make a hug to a naked man on the street. I was like, bruh. People look at that and they call that leadership?
I mean, if you're talking pandering to what you think are... I'm not saying...
That's his voting base, so I guess he is doing that to vote.
I'm not saying, and I've often said in the U.S., they're teaching sexual identity before they teach the ABCs in 1, 2, 3s. Don't do this. This is what we've said.
Canada has been doing that for years now.
Oh, U.S. was way ahead of you. We are at the point of they teach sex education by 2 gay penguins, and people are shocked. Like, they're like, teachers are like, why do you parents oppose this? Because you should. The problem, overly social, the problem with part of the reason Southern poverty law sooner or later went south is they wanted to become the moral arbiters to fix society multi. The problem is...
That sounds totalitarian, authoritarian.
It sounds weird, but the reason why... I'll explain this. They view themselves as the people who should be able to raise and guide the village. This is because no one was standing up to guide the village. Now, what happens when the village refuses to govern and raise the children? The wilds raise them. Now, in that case, we have Twitter, TikTok, social media. Like, I'm not against modern culture. It's weird. I'm like 40. I'm like, the issue is itself is, look, there's a difference every generation. People who claim that they're actually gay has gone from like 10 to 15% to like 20% to like later millennials and Gen Z to be like 30%. Okay?
Yeah.
That's of the QIA plus is included in all of that. These people are the most sexually confused generation ever.
Because they were blasted that at early ages.
And then they're confused. Now, the problem is the concept it takes a village to raise a child. You had it fine. Teachers were teaching children young. We've had what started coming out is we had a whole generation of teachers. They go, who votes for Trump? Points out the kid in the MAGA hat, berates him in front of their students. And what turns out it's usually a minority teacher, calls the kid retarded, then proceeds to tell the entire class why you shouldn't vote for Trump.
Fascinating. I don't want that in my classroom.
No, you're seeing what I'm saying. This is what this group advocates. Similar. You should not be doing politics in school. You should also not be forcefully transitioning children. Now, the only way I am for giving kids puberty blockers, one way, is if a kid has extreme GDI or GID and feels
gender dysphoria,
and really, really you can affirm if that kid doesn't start transitioning. the kid's going to probably Minecraft themselves.
Yeah.
Then you might make the exception.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's a fair point.
Is that fair? Is that fair, Multi?
Yeah, I think it's
That's
fair.
the most extreme case. They're very rare.
But the docs, they don't like that because there's not enough extreme case, so they need to rise up the numbers. Next one, let's continue. Protest and advocacy members testify at legislative hearing, protest drag queens. So we already read that. Rejection of modern pride events. A gag opposes the presence of children at pride events and criticizes corporate marketing directed at the LGBTQ plus community.
Rainbow capitalism.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think they're very based and smart. Major controversy and criticism. Weaponization of the groomer trope. Civil rights watchdog like Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, and the Anti-Defamation League.
ADL.
Just that name, I feel like they deemed themselves, they call themselves the arbiter of truth.
Okay. This is why I've said with the SPLC being revealed to be corrupt, I'm waiting on the ADL to be corrupt, found out to be a little weird, because, see, here's the thing. The ADL was largely a Catholic-based organization. They're very largely anti-Semitic.
Wow.
They're starting to become extremely anti-Semitic in a lot of their propaganda in the last 5-6 years.
Wow.
Even before October 7th.
Anyway, let's continue. This trope has long been used by anti-gay movement and to falsely equate the broader LGBTQ plus community, particularly transgender individual with I won't say out loud that word.
Do you want to know the reason, the origin of this trope?
You know what? I think it's things I can't walk back, so no, I don't want to hear it.
So
no.
There is a lot of Discord stories from this.
I don't want to hear it, my friend.
I'm not going to torture you with it.
It's
I know what the origin of
disgusting.
this trope
It's
is.
disgusting. I don't want to talk about that. The next one, digital ventriloquist. Yeah. Academic and investigative reports from outlets like Media Matters for America state that JAG is not a grassroots organization. Instead, they describe it as a strategic right-wing project backed by conservative media operative to give anti-trans rhetoric a veneer of legitimacy from within the gay community.
They're looking at, okay, long story short, they are a psyop for conservatives.
No, I'm sorry, but like,
That's
not everyone thinks that way. Not everyone is overly progressive, and it's funny because I have gay acquaintances, and most of them, you won't believe it. Maybe you will believe it because we are not in that far left echo chamber, but they actually voted conservative in the last election.
See, here's the weird part about the platform bans for them. Okay, I'm going to ask you this. So the San Francisco choir performed a song that cringed most of the normies, sang a song, "We're Coming for Your Children." It's a gay man's choir. Ethically good or ethically bad? This was a real event.
Wow.
Now, what just happened amongst this group, there was a couple of PDFs.
Wow.
Now, the idea is they came out to the broader public and they may not have intended the lyrics the way it is, but the broader public, the normies, got to see it's a bunch of gay men singing "We're Coming for Your Children."
That's disgusting.
Now, realistically, it's a song teaching that saying the parents are bigoted and we will educate your children. Now, the public broader response was, what WTF is this?
My wife is a frickin', and if she would hear what you just told me, she would be the most angry wife ever. She would be pissed, and she would be like, "Why did I move into Canada?"
So the thing about it is, he wouldn't allow me. I'm not going to force it. Do your own research. There was a lot of scandals and a lot of issues in the last recent years, some that have been buried in some of these tropes. This organization is a liberal organization. They're just... Okay, I'm going to ask you while we're on this. Are TERFs bigoted and anti-LGBTQ?
I think these words have been so much used.
TERF.
I will say no.
Are gays and lesbians against that stand? These are gays and lesbian women and bisexual men and women. Hateful for disliking QIA plus people?
No.
Why?
You can dislike something, not necessarily hating it. Like, I don't like pop music, yet I don't hate it.
So when they oppose saying transgender women are not women, are they bigoted and wrong? Remember, they're lesbian, gay, and bi.
We need to play the privilege cards.
I'm just telling you because this is the actual...
Unlock the privilege cards.
This is actually the TERF. When they say the UK went TERF Island, it was a bunch of normal gay people, not QIA plus. They have admitted that the QIA plus people have hijacked the movement.
I'm not surprised. It's always like that. It's like the Islamists. They use the left wing to take control of something, and once they control the government, they take out the leftists because they don't necessarily align with their beliefs. So, the verdict: gays and gays against grooming, which is the organization we just covered and talked about for 20 minutes, are apparently hateful for not wanting the kids to be brainwashed and groomed. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. You don't need to be hateful to be called hateful. So, I think it's full of crap, and I think it's the segue for the map, because we covered in depth that organization. So I guess now you can go on to the next organization you wanted to talk about.
So when we look at, let's assume and look at an actual group. Now they say the American Freedom Network. I'm not going to go on to that. There is when I say they do correct, usually neo-Nazi groups are usually not good people.
Of course, they're not.
Like this group right here, they probably belong here. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Patriot Front. You know what?
Pick one and we will cover that one.
Okay, let me be fair. I could really just stand up and show you during the...
I want to laugh, so find one that's funny. That's easy to debunk.
Let me look something up a second, and I will get not back to you. It's a video of the Patriot Front. They decided to protest in. So that's the Proud Boys. We know that they're a hate group. I don't have to point out they are a mixed bag. See, the Patriot Front, White National. Okay, if you want to laugh, I'll show you what an actual modern day hate group is. Okay,
let's do this.
Let me show you this. Okay, this was they decided to come to DC. Let me just get a video. It's comedical. All right, this is the. So there was a Okay, let me give you a little history. This is a group that. Okay, I gotta find you a good one. The problem in fighting, because I got alerted to this, because they showed themselves. I didn't think they were real. They're like a psyop, but let me find a video of it. When they came to DC on the 4th of July. But trying to find a good video of it was hard. Because they are, when you think of actual what white supremacists look like, they look clownish.
We are still here, even if it's.
Well, yeah, they look awful, like in turn of what they are. I want to see if I can find a good, decent source. Okay, this is a good one. I'll go and get this one. This group is special ed to the highest point of special ed. And okay, I'm going to ask you, when you hear stories of the Klan walking around in sheets, do you think that that's hilariously bad now?
Yeah, I think it's cosplaying. And
you
it's
think it's
very
like
bad based cosplaying.
Let me get this downloaded really quick. The problem is
it's like hard to believe that existed like 100 years ago.
You don't. It sounds unreal, doesn't it?
It's like people were like that back then. Wow, they're savage.
So actual neo-Nazi groups do exist. Okay? This group, I warn you, during the July 4th event in DC, when it was 100 degrees, all right, came dressed like this. And you are going to probably laugh because there you go. This is the Patriot Front.
No. Is that a parody? No.
No, this is not parody.
This is real.
This is real.
What BS is this?
You fucking pathetic pieces of fucking shit!
You scum!
This is real?
Yes, this is real.
What's the name of these freaks?
This is the Patriot Front.
The Patriot Front. Okay, so I guess that's the title of that segment. So we gotta talk about that. I
want you to see this. You would not think these are real people. You really would not.
It's not real.
No, this is an actual organization, and I want you This was during.
And they play music. I will cut the music. Well, I will say this. At least they don't shoot people.
Okay. The fun fact is there was a whole group. So this group is known. It's led by a guy. He's a so the Proud Boys were founded by Gavin McGinnis. And then another guy who was rather a little extreme. And Patriot Front. Nobody left or right defends because I wanted to find the speech that they gave that weekend, but you really can't find it outside of Twitter. People actually had a field day with this, thinking Republicans and Trump like this. We didn't stop these people from protesting. They literally looked like this. The little plastic riot shields, the Klan shields, that's actually in Klan tradition. This is real. You don't think this is real?
It feels like a parody. Like these people, they remind me of the folks that fight for Hamas and Palestine and that kind of crap. Like they burn flags but we got a white version of it.
And here's the funny thing. Here's what I said immediately after my friend told me this happened on July 4th. I go, every liberal organization was going to try to run this and said Trump allowed this. This is a group that unironically marched in Charlottesville. They were a group. They are considered an extremist group by the SPLC, the ADL, for very good reasons. This was also a group.
I might be wrong, but I think there was rap music.
And I can find you what they really believe, and it is as stupid as you think.
These people, bruh. Like
it looks like a bunch of people cosplaying as basically just let it play a little bit music, the other. You just see it. They're marching and this was because no one found the actual speech. They are basically I can bring up their manifesto. Their manifesto is classic. If you ever wonder, they are for a reason, Multi.
You know, in the past we had institutions. I think we should reopen them.
Oh, if you tell me you brought this up. Okay, good. So if I should have had this prepared because I didn't want to being canned dogs me. This is actually what they believe. In this age of truth and lies, there is an abundance of misconceptions, including you can find this and read this yourself. I've seen someone read this. They use American history to those there's parts here of civil status. They see themselves as actual revolutionaries.
But Dragon, do you remember when I was saying feminists from the third and fourth wave? They are living in a parallel universe and another world than ours, and they are in their own realm and dimension. I think they would get along very well with the Patriot Front because
our nation
they share the same realm. So they are in a different plane of existence.
This is when you see militia groups go very far because the actual Klan. America history has been corrupted by liberal and conservatives alike for democratic sake, a nation unified in a people of common ancestry. Okay, I will argue. Okay, do you as a Canadian feel you have your own national identity
We
or
used to
culture?
have it. Like 20 years ago, we had it. But
Do you
Trudeau and Carney, they did everything they could to destroy it. And I will be honest with you, and that's one of the reasons why I want to get the F out with my wife once we have enough money.
But you know what I'm asking?
We lost it. They tore it apart, and they were successful. Canada lost its identity.
The reason I ask this is some people have said Americans do not have a culture. Like when it comes to us discussing foods with the rest of the world, right? We are some of the most savages as savage get compared to the Europeans. They like their tea being boiled, no sugar. We put sugar in everything. You know, we like our fatty foods. We like our MSG. We like that, right? What we think is Americanized version, some have said, and this is actually said by others, we have our own twist on it. But ours
is everything. That's also
ours is a melting pot culture. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's a melting pot culture.
But again, the USA, the way I see it, you guys like things big. Like you think of yourself as a big boss because you are the big boss and you're proud of it. Like, your identity as a country, and that's what I admire the most.
It is. It's kind of
that's
like
what I think Canada lost because we used to have it as well.
We have our we like our sugars and our breads.
You guys are proud American, and even a lot of the Democrats, not all of them, because we have that pocket of crazies that hate Canada in the history. But I think among the Democrats, there's a lot of proud American, and they're like, we are still the best country in the world. We have the best democracy.
By the way, as of a recent poll, 66% of Democrats currently are wanting to vote, according to a CNN poll, said they don't like the way America is going. So
because it's Republican.
But
under Biden, I think the Democrats were glad.
I mean, what do they consider tearing down? See, when I say if Americans have a culture of cooking food, like our food, the history of our food, we're largely on a lot of processed foods with a lot of sugars. Like,
and you fry everything.
Yes. And here's the funny part. We make fun of, like, we were making fun of Belgium for why the World Cup, like Americans.
Belgium is shameful.
Americans don't
Belgium makes me sick. They jail people for what they say. Like the UK.
Here's the funny part. We were making fun of them because they said they cheated. Americans don't give an F about the World Cup. It was so artificial.
I'm so American because I also don't give a crap.
So here's the part when they say America has no identity. Yeah, like if you're in the South,
you have an identity. I see it.
Look, I'm in Texas. Texas is very different than the rest of the country. It's like being in New York. New York,
the USA is the last pillar of freedom because the West gave up on that.
So here's the thing. I'm in Texas. Texas, I say I'm a Texan before I'm a U.S. citizen, which it's not because of heritage, it's because of heritage. Texas was a state, was a country before it was a state, and even after the Civil War, our agreement with the United States is agreement between two sovereign countries. Now, fun little fact, but it's like saying New York. New York has its own culture. Now, realistically, I was raised in the South, so we don't have weird little Klansmen like we're seeing here. These people do Nazi salutes into closets, okay? Actual KKK membership is down. I bring these people up because you read their tenements. A nation is unfulfilled and a common. Our nation is unified people of common ancestry, culture, and the land in which they inhabit. Wrong. We are a nation of immigrants that is a melting pot. Collective liberty demands our survival as a nation. National sovereignty outlines government, protects both liberty and leads the nation forward.
And as a nation, the USA will take the weapon and create a bloodbath for freedom.
So here's the weird part. I want to disagree with this, but the way they intend it is wrong. We are supposed to agree as a nation to govern. So, like states, the federal government is meant to do the federal government. It's like, I'm going to ask you in Canada, who controls the power? The provinces or the federal government?
It used to be where the province used to have powers, but both Trudeau and actually it even started in the 90s with Chrétien. So Chrétien, Trudeau, and effing Carney, they want to strip that away and to centralize all of the powers at the federal level. But for quite some time, the province had agency and a lot of power. But here's the thing: they didn't quite use it, depending on the province. Like Alberta were never shameful to use it, but like Quebec,
everybody else is different.
Quebec was shameful to use it. British Columbia was shameful to use it. Most eastern province as well. But we have the power. We just never really wanted to use it. And in the 90s, the prime minister, again, that was a liberal, which is hilarious. It's always under them. He started undermining it and picking pieces apart. And Trudeau continued. But it's funny because we had Paul Martin early 2000. He wasn't like that. And Stephen Harper, our last conservative and probably the last in history, if it continues that way, also let the province lead themselves. But Trudeau, Carney, Jean Chrétien, these three, they wanted the federal to have all powers, and they didn't want the province to have their word and to have their way, which is disgusting. It's
See, the
sad.
reason I bring this up is because there's an argument between our government and our federal government. The federal government's job is to regulate federal matters such as war, relations with other nations, etc., etc. States are meant to regulate certain stuff. This has been subtly gained or lost, like what is states' rights to govern ourselves. Like
healthcare in Canada was provincial, but each time the Liberals came to power, they wanted to make it
nationalized,
federal. Yeah, like immigration, country-wise, it was always the federal, but Quebec started throwing tantrums, and because they are a big voting bloc, Ottawa and the federal were like, oh, you know what? We will let Quebec make their own immigration rules. And that's the only province that really decides who comes into their province, which is fascinating. Alberta tries to do the same thing, but because Alberta votes conservative, they cannot do that. It's wrong.
So if I ask
they
you
are
this,
racist.
So if I ask you this, in states of war, matters of war, relations with foreign immigration is federal, yes, but managed at a provincial level.
Immigration is it used to be federal, but Quebec got independence, but that's the only province that's like that. And again, Alberta tries to have independence when it comes to immigration. That's one of the ballot question.
Who
They
is the
want better.
who is the main arm that enforces immigration?
That's the federal. But that's what I'm telling you right now. Like Quebec, they pressured enough the federal, so they got more leeway. So they basically decide who comes in Quebec. In the other province, they just do whatever the federal tells them to do. And Alberta wants the same right as Quebec, but because they vote conservative, they are racist.
And I bring this up because in the States, even though there's a federal immigration law that supports through ICE, what actually ICE is that deports the criminal aliens, it's largely down to the states to enforce our borders. See, in Texas, we've had one of the most volatile borders in very recent years. You don't ever hear about the cartel shootouts. Because one of the biggest disagreements we had with the federal government was Abbott was about to stick our National Guard on the border. And the federal government was like, no, you can't do that. I go, yes, we can. Because it's a state of emergency. Because they were shooting and a bunch of people were flooding over our border. Now, irony is a lot of people actually... There's a different belief where you are. Like California used to be very based, but it went too far liberal. New York is going down a path of no return. Chicago, like the reason why when you said you wanted to move, you asked me once, like, don't ever move up to near the Great Lakes region, like Chicago.
No, I made up my mind, except if that changes in the next 10 to 15 years, because that's
where it goes. Like, it's fine. You cost of living.
Right now I have my eyes on Dakota North.
Discuss it later. Like, here's the funny thing about Chicago. Chicago is where the socialists and progressives were before they.
I want to stay away from that.
They were where they originally
were
before they spread out to Colorado. They spread out to the Pacific Northwest. Think where Obama was in Chicago. Now, the interesting part with a lot of this group is, as Americans, it's really hard to subvert us. You can create tribal pockets, but at the end of the day, the silent majority, see, our government is about, fluctuates in reality. It is around 20-20-60. That 20% is each conservative and liberal. Basically, the reason why the Democrats started backpedaling was because progressives are an increasingly very small section. They are about 20% of most of the voting public in general. They can't dictate to the majority. So, America is usually not the one, it's the one for the many. It's not the one for the many, it's the many for the... It's the one for the many versus many for the few. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Our government is supposed to be it. This organization is really weird. Our nation is European in racial character, and thus Americans. All Americans, either native or naturalized, are members of the European race. That is not true. Whether our government is based on European tradition, okay? Machiavelli wrote, there's other documents, I'll know them off the top of my head if I ever do it, but like right now it's hard. That's what our government is based on. A president, a judicial branch, a House of Lords, a House of Commons. That's how everything is set up. But in ethnic diversity, very few people are original American stock.
I'm not surprised.
If that makes sense. We are just the culture that happens. A lot of people believe, like, I'm not against New York City being a port city because the rich people moved out. It's becoming a brown city. It's becoming a minority city. That is a natural process because the rich people moved out. It's very weird. Representative government is only functional where one state governs one nation. That doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell California cannot tell Texas how to govern people because we are a radically different people. Texans cannot tell New Yorkers how to govern New York because we are functionally different cultures. Even our liberals in Texas are fundamentally different.
And it's the same in Canada. Like Alberta, most of their industries are all about oil and gas and the resources on the ground.
Okay.
And Quebec is the stupid mentality of leave it on the ground because we won't save the planet.
And here's the part that people forget. Call it the weird leftovers from the Civil War. It's how much power does the federal government actually have?
Canada, they have too much.
Just even think about it. The Civil War was largely over states' rights, no matter what people say. Lincoln was 10 times very racist. And fun fact, Lincoln, his plan to deal with the African Americans or black people was to get them on board ships and drop them back off in Africa, even if they were born and raised here.
Wow! It's like Trump, but like
did you actually? You've never heard that about Lincoln, have you? That was actually Lincoln's plan.
I don't agree with the guy. Dragon, I don't agree with the guy, but I will admit that he has charisma and he is hilarious and he is legendary.
No, he actually said the problem people forget about Lincoln, you actually have to trim around his racism. So much so, you almost can't quote his stuff verbatim because of his racism. Which is ironic, by the way. But one of the big complaints of the South against the North, because the North was as racist as the South, if not more racist.
Wow.
Not just against black people, against the Irish.
Wow.
So, you could really understand history is a really interesting fold of how much does the federal government have the right to order around? And it was very evident because our states have the power to push back against the federal. This is why when you see that Trump tried to do something really stupid like he wanted to amend birthright citizenship without a constitutional amendment, the states filed injunctions. Now, there's a whole topic on how he wants to fix it, but it's a very complicated. It comes down to us fixing 100-year-old broken immigration system that dates back to Ellis Island and slightly before, and you would have to amend the Constitution. But this is what people don't get about the U.S. We are such a nation of process. This is why these militant groups don't get. Number 6, an inherent meaning of life is derived from one's service to the collective of his natural identity. See, this is when they talk about you're largely serving the white race, right? That's what makes this group racist.
Until we replace the whites with the Indian and the blacks.
Look, can you tell me the difference between The Black Panthers and the KKK?
No.
Do you know what they are, though, right?
Their skin color?
The Black Panthers is a Black Power organization.
I know.
And what is the KKK? A white power organization.
I know.
Both committed violence.
The only difference is the skin color.
That's it. Same fundamental idea. The state has abandoned its people's interest and will act in a virtuous state and restore and defend prosperity.
Oh that sounds like Canada. No. We think that way, and it doesn't even work that way here.
We embody multi-generational effort to set America on the patriotic path.
Bruh.
They are literally a meme of a group who wants to restore American patriotism as
you cannot read all of that and then walk around like this and be taken seriously. I'm sorry.
I can't. Look, there's a people who have read this. This is something like I've seen when as soon as I saw what the nation of this group was.
I cannot take them seriously.
This group is not serious.
It's not real.
So when I say a lot of these organizations are like,
just imagine the cops sitting there and looking at them and like, wow.
So usually most of these white nationalist groups are usually white nationalists.
It's just ridiculous. It's like the daycare with grown up.
It's like
it's the circus, wild animals.
See, there's the United Klan Nation, right, in Tennessee. Self-explanatory. Ku Klux Klan. Now, Proud Boys, I will say, are hit or miss. Proud Boys are, if you ask Google, they're an insurrection group, but they mean well, but they don't. By the way, that's a weird name for a group. Anti-lesbian. Just play it. You want to finish
this? I'm 50-50. This, I feel like it kind of belongs on the A list, but it also doesn't.
Okay, so can I give you context?
These are clowns that we cannot.
Can I give you context for this? There was this whole thing. They purchased a bunch of bus tickets so they could get through, because this is what we have to do with our bus fares, right? They each had to have a ticket to get on this train. This looked terrible, by the way.
It reminds me. It reminds me in high school when we used to have these days where the school would be like, "We'll take the metro and go at the museum."
Okay, that guy in the middle, right there, that short little guy, blow it up. That's the leader, by the way.
That's the leader?
That's the leader of the organization.
Are you kidding me?
Of the Texas branch. That dude right there is the leader.
with the tie and the cowboy hat?
Yes. In a military, okay, it's like an old Western outfit where you wear the tie and the thing. That's the leader.
No. And this is why, folks, as much as
it looks terrible.
I could see this Drew being hateful, okay? More than pearly things or whatever we covered prior. But I see these clowns and I'm like, I don't care what they say.
Okay,
I cannot take them seriously.
There's a tradition. There's a little bit of a tradition thing in how he dresses. It's kind of like a specific style, and I get why he does it. It's a mix of like the old, like
he's like the sheriff, folks.
Gilded. It's like an old Gilded Age carryover. The guy was asked, like he doesn't know, but like what you're missing here is, if you unmute it, it's not like racist or anything. It's like So, are you going to have issues getting through? Did you buy a bunch of bus passes? And they did. I
It's like
looked at
Halloween 3 months too soon.
it's like
It's bruh.
like the thing is, he asked how many people were there. He wouldn't give the exact numbers, but they flooded this metro station. Just let it play. We'll talk over it. It's fine. It's nothing important. This dude is.
It's just fascinating.
They all came and took
That
over.
result in anything.
Can I get the numbers estimate for today?
I think it's 4th of July. We're 4 days into July, and it's almost 10. You want any more numbers? Oh, 250 years, 1776.
What's the point today?
What's the point? National independence, representation of the nation.
Being proud is not hateful, folks.
It isn't, but everything else is.
This cause our people's interests. Patriot.us. I already gave us.
I won't lie. I love that cowboy hat. And this guy.
It's not a cowboy hat, but it's the hat.
This guy has the presence. And I feel like inside of him, deep underneath, he knows it's ridiculous. But he doesn't care. He is a proud American, folks.
He's proud of
it. You'll see it.
Snow in July, folks. Snow in July.
You know how hot it was on July 4th? Do you know? And they can't dress like this.
In the face! Get the doors! Pull the doors! Let's go!
Will all of the children of the whites fit in the train?
I'll pause it. Okay, people who don't understand. July 4th was a very hot day. We're in middle of summer. We just had our first 100-degree break in Texas, right? Here's the funny thing. It was boiling hot in DC. All right? These people came dressed like this in the middle of a major heat wave in DC.
They're
brave, and they were hot as a motherfucker.
Imagine, Dragon, you're inside the train, you're chilling, and you're like, it's so hot outside, but I'm under the ground, so it's colder. And then you have that stop. You stop. The door opens, and you see a wave of white folks. You're like, oh crap.
There was a really bad photo that was photoshopped of a black woman supposedly surrounded by it. They Twitter tried to run with and say it was a bunch of white nationalists were taking over trains. No, they all took one train home. This looks
But again,
really...
imagine you're the guy just chilling in the train, and you're like, oh, it's colder here than at the surface, and then you see a wave of people, and you're like, my peaceful time, it's gone.
Actually, no, because the problem not with a small area is how many people are in a small area.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, you're all peaceful, all quiet, you're chilling, and then boom, your train is full. Imagine how that must feel.
It happens in a lot of areas, but man,
I go on the train.
This is just... Most people are like, what the fuck? Like, the guy there is not pissed because it's white people, because everyone was riding a nice, beautiful train, and then a bunch of clowns get on it. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. It's just peaceful, and then they came.
It looks like you're about to be attacked.
Giant shit. What is this? Patriot.
There has to be a able person on the train.
No, I'm good. Jerry, Vice President of the United States and signer of the Declaration of Let this man off the train. Make a hole, make a hole. Good weekend, sir. Thank you.
See, they are civil.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. It's very civil.
I was going to ask a question. You ride a metro. Would you intentionally get off a train and wait for another train to come off?
To be honest, I don't know. Because I look at that from an outsider that didn't truly experience that. And I find that funny and hilarious, but also quite annoying. But
would you intentionally get off at the next stop and wait for the next train?
I don't know. I will tell you this. I wasn't comfortable most of June because we had these people walking like dogs with like dog masks, and I was like, it's disgusting. Like there are children all around here, and I was like, man, I don't care what you're doing in your bedroom, but like, why do you place it in front of like every eyes to see? Like, I'm glad my kid isn't born yet, so I don't need to explain that.
Here's
but like
the part where I'll tell you where that's a little fucked up. There's a part about people with fetishes and other things in the military that they didn't talk about in the U.S. military.
But
so when they had a bunch of people with a dog mask that turned out to be Air Force people with that, my thing is keep that in the bedroom.
Yeah, I'm the same. But again, I wasn't comfortable, but I didn't like quit the train or the metro I was using just because of some freak with the mask. So I think if these folks were entering, I would find that funny, maybe ? But I don't see myself leaving the train because of that. Now, if they create mayhem and they start screaming or being violent, that's another story. But if they are just chilling like right now, I think I would stay with them. I would actually question them, like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the point? I think I would do that, yeah.
This guy's got 2 zippers here. Dude, I haven't been hot all day. You with me, dog? Used to share. She got up. Oh, got it. Okay. Jeff Bezos owns Washington Post, right? Yeah. Yeah. Who owns Reuters? So I don't need to contact you. Medic? Anybody need a medic? You could just a little. You already got the water. Okay, you need ice? Okay.
They're free here. Just imagine you're the security guard at that event or the police, and you're like, "What is going on? What am I doing here?" Like
the Metro Police. I think everyone was like, look, most protest groups are pretty cringe. Not just these people. Black Lives Matter was more destructive.
They were burning buildings.
They were more like weird, like the term of it. But like these
they were
people,
dangerous.
You just look at the organizers, like the ones that stop and make sure the people are organized, walking in a track. They had to organize leaving Multi.
That's fascinating.
Take one. Take a home. Take a home. Take a home. Take a home for the people coming up.
They have to take another train. They had to take another train. They all had to get in their cars and get away. It looks weird. This was real, Multi. Yes.
It's fascinating.
I told you. There's some people.
So yep. I see time flies, and I won't lie to you, I'm tired. So
I know you can go over this a little bit.
I love doing that stream, and I think we should do another one like that.
We'll do that a couple, because
maybe not next week. I think next week we can cover something else if something happens.
Yeah.
If nothing happens, maybe we can cover more of that map. But what do you have going on your end of the internet, my friend?
I have currently D4. I am working through Genshin. I'm gonna have commentary streams, something coming up. I gotta figure out how to work it into a schedule. I'm currently working on D4 and trying to work a way through Genshin. So other than that, I'm good. I have topics and things, and I am enjoying House of Dragons. I will be reviewing on my channel. I do not know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do reviews of the X-Men 97. I don't know how I'm going to do it because they dropped 3 episodes, then the 4th episode. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, what, you dump half the season already? Well, you dump, what is it, 4.5% of your season of the episodes, and then you do the 4th episode. So what do you say, right? That's basically half your season, and 4 weeks it's over. So it's a good, other than that, it's good.
Amazing. Anyway, Monday I shall cover Evil Dead Burn. Hot take. It's my favorite in the franchise. I'm not the biggest fan.
Actually, no, I
just
didn't
came
know
out.
it came out, but
you must see it. It's a fun one.
Actually, I probably will. I think it's like I saw Lucky Stripes. I recommend.
If you don't have the time before Monday to watch it, let me know as soon as you know.
Oh, I'll let you know. Personally,
if you don't have the time, we shall do it Wednesday. Do you think Wednesday you will have the time?
I'll let you know. I currently have my problem right now is I currently have D4 season, and like certain games, like when I say D4 eats up my time, it has, but let's check and see. The only time I've ever been making to myself is Wednesdays and Mondays. Sundays.
Okay, so let me know whether we do it Monday or Wednesday.
I'll let you know if I see it. It was on my list to see.
So let me know as soon as you can. So the day we are not talking about Evil Dead, I will be talking about Spider-Man once again. The rainy days. I've read lots of Spider-Man comics, and that will bring perspective to the discussion. With that being said, Thursday, if I am not too tired, we shall have a Resident Evil 0 stream. And tomorrow, I don't know at what time, because I have stuff in the evening and the night. So probably in the afternoon at some point, or maybe early evening, I will be doing a Resident Evil 0 stream again. I'm trying to beat the game. I really suck at it. But it's content, it's gaming, and it's Resident Evil.
Look, you learn. It's kind of like
the tank control are horrendous. I hate the gameplay just because of the tank control. It's unbearable. But the game itself, I like the idea. It's fun, but it's dated. Now,
well, look, I say this as a person who plays different games. I have usually more or less like I have like that weird break of it. Look, as a person, I understand controls, but like God, like some games are good to have. It's nice to have a simple game. Like Genshin is a good little story I can do simple, but I screwed my game up. But D4 on one hand is just time consuming because it's collecting.
So Dragon, Saturday the 18th.
Yes.
Either we do the 8
topic
map
ahead of time.
Yeah, so either we do another 8 map stream like this one, but different because of course we already covered some of it, or we cover some news or some content.
Something. I think there's others because I'm relishing a piece with politics because I myself say when I have commentary streams that do multi, I just got to figure out how to work them into a schedule. And I also have to wake up north of noon instead 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So again, that will be Saturday 18 if you're available. Probably late night
usually
as
available.
usual. That's our usual day. So yeah, next reaction Saturday 18. With that being said, I am Multi-Topic Talk. This was Dragon. I enjoyed my night. Thank you a lot, my friend. And we are out. Talk to you later. Have a great one, everyone, and we are out.
Yes.